Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hello. How we doing? How are my friends doing today? Hi, hi, hi. Hello, hello. What's going on? Hello, Southern Mom. Hello, Kaylee. Hello, Rachel. Hi, Elvia. How are you? Am I early? What time is it? I'm on the East Coast right now, which means that it's 11 a.m. Buongiorno, Justice. Hello, Elle. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Quandis. Hello, Callie. Hello, Stella. 7 p.m. in the UK. I'm a little bit early. I'm on the East Coast today, though. Hello, Quandis. Hello, Amelia. Hi, Mama Sewell. How are you doing? You like this blazer? I got it for $5. Can you believe that? I'm on the East Coast, Michaela. Hello, Samantha. No, I didn't. No, you can still subscribe. You can definitely still subscribe. Hello, Nevea. Usually when I get the notification at this time, it's the getting ready one. Yeah, that is why. I know, right? It was great. $5 for this. Well, I guess maybe more like $6, but I got it at Goodwill, right? Hello, Jessica. Hello, Kayla. How's everybody doing? Right? It was, and it totally fits me. It's absolutely in my size, right? Exactly, Poppy. Hello, Carly. Hello, Aaron. How are you doing? What hair products do I use? Today, I used a Garnier Fructis. But usually I use Paul Mitchell. Hello, Shayla. Hello, Nancy. New Law in the bathrooms. Well, that's in the UK. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but feel free to explain. Am I on hormones? Yes. Hello. Yes, early lunch today. I know. That's because it's actually 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Usually I'm in San Francisco, but today I'm on the East Coast. Thank you, Kayla. Hello. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Fayin. Sub only? Yeah, we will in a little bit. But the chat's been really nice so far. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Mackie. Hello, Violet. Hi, everyone. I did get FFS, yes. Am I allowed to? Yes, I asked them. I always ask restaurants ahead of time before I stream. Always. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Oh, don't forget to tell Nugget we say hi. Well, I can't tell Nugget because Nugget's staying with a friend right now. We're on the East Coast today, Kimberly. How's it going? Muni Michelle, still looking for me? Are you the person that I met on Muni that one time? I met you once. Or are you someone else? Hi, everyone. When did I transition? I started my transition on late 2020, basically. Your time zone, yes. Hi, everyone. Did I find my big clue? Not yet. Still working on it. Cake pops or donuts? God, yes to both. What am I doing on the East Coast? Visiting someone. Hi, everyone. My pronouns are she, her. I'm not in Florida yet. No, not in Florida. That's next month. What do hormones do? A lot of stuff. They change your face very subtly. They make your skin softer, at least the ones that I take. Change your whole it's a different perspective emotionally as well. Why am I always at restaurants? Because I love to eat. How long have I been a she, her? I started using she, her pronouns at the end of 2020. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yes, she, her, indeed. Will I go to Europe someday? I would love to. Any other? Please ask good questions. I'll put it on the subscription at some point, but ask nice questions. What's my skin? Oh, you know what? This restaurant, more power to this restaurant. When I was asking them if I could stream or not, they said yes, and also they asked me my pronouns. Can you believe that? They asked me my pronouns. My favorite makeup product, I need a good lip. A good lip, a mascara. Right now I'm wearing, I guess I did eyeliner as well today. But probably lip is the thing I focus the most on. Yeah, they asked me my pronouns so that they didn't get it wrong. You know you're in a good place, a good restaurant. Food and everything aside, they asked me my pronouns. I didn't bring it up. They asked me. Isn't that nice? And I was like, I feel safe here. I feel safe when I was asked. All right. Would I ever consider lip filler? No. I know that. Well, I don't know if it's a first, but it definitely doesn't happen often. Where's Nugget? Nugget is staying with a friend right now. Can I show the earrings? Yes, I can. Oh, by the way, I want to show y'all my shirt. I'm gonna flip the camera so you can see my shirt. My video. What do you think? I saw it on someone's like Insta, and I was like, I have to have that shirt. You know? Is my hair usually red? It is. How long I've been dating? I'm completely single right now. What was my name before I transitioned was Nick or Nicholas, but typically it's not a great thing to ask a trans person because they don't really want that name to be thought about in about them at all because it's not who they are. It's not the name they use. It's not really relevant at all. Is my hair naturally curly? Yes. What is my dream job? This. Don't get the t-shirt. Not all men, but probably him. You know, a lot of times people will say, well, like, not all men, but probably him. You know, like the not all men is a phrase that kind of is, well, let's not be too hasty. Of course there are good men out there, which is true. But also, like, we have the right to be suspicious. That's kind of what this shirt suggests. Do you still think Kurt was trans? Absolutely, Kurt Cobain, I think, was trans. But what did I order? We haven't even read the menu yet. How would I ask? Ooh, this is a really good one. How would I ask someone about their pronouns as not to seem rude? So just like the person at this restaurant did for me, they said, oh, and can I ask what your pronouns are? And I said, yeah, sure, she, her. And that was it. That was it. I'm not trying to be rude, but what made me decide to change genders or pronouns? So no changing of gender occurs for trans people. It's kind of like, think of it kind of like a costume that we're finally getting to take off, right? I was wearing a boy costume for a long time, and it was very uncomfortable. But eventually, underneath, I was always a girl. I just finally got to take it off and become myself. That's what transitioning is. You're not becoming a gender. In some ways, you're like revealing it or realizing it fully in the world. Does that make more sense? What made me to decide to do that was I was miserable wearing the costume. The costume was just heavier and heavier every single day. I hated wearing it. It was a burden. And I knew I couldn't be happy while I was wearing the costume. So I finally took it off, and it was wonderful. Yeah. You love the blazer? Thank you. When did I transition? Late 2020. People use that stuff you did as an excuse. Whoa, what stuff? Do you think it's all right for children under 18 to transition hormonally? Not only is it okay, it's essential. If you are a kid and you make it to 18 as a trans kid without having access to hormone blockers, you're going to have a tough time. Most of puberty has already happened by 18. So all those changes that you're trying to avoid can be stopped as long as you get there early enough. All right, I think... Oh, I would love to go to Epic Universe. It's going to be so busy, though, this year. For the next year or two, it's going to be really busy. How long did it take me to grow my hair? About 4 years in. I've gotten like a couple inches taken off here and there. I don't pass. I know I don't pass. That's okay. Someone said, some people are mean. They're going to get... What do you mean, Jessica? Do you think it's disrespectful to ask someone's pronouns? No, not at all. Not at all. Ooh, here's a good one. What if you take hormone blockers and then regret it? So going on hormone blockers or hormones themselves, it's a long process, okay? And it's a different conversation with hormone blockers, but the idea of regret is something that can come up. Let's say one day you say, you know what, I think I might be trans. And then the next day, somehow you manage to find hormones and you start taking them. And then a year in, you're like, oh, I don't know. Or maybe even like 2 months in, you're like, I don't know. First off, 2 months of any hormone, estrogen or whatever, testosterone, is not going to do that much. It's not going to change your body in a permanent way that like you can't really work around. Same thing goes for hormone blockers. Hormone blockers are used for like preteens. So if you want to press pause on puberty, it doesn't affect anything other than press pause. You can press play whenever you want. But no one goes on hormones like the day after you realize you're trans, or even the month after. Usually, there are many months in between starting your transition and going on hormones, right? And even once you're on hormones, there's plenty of time before any real permanent changes start happening. what I'm trying to say is there's more than enough time every day to realize this. You know, it's one thing to realize after a week of thinking you might be trans that you're not, but it's another thing after like 5 years. I find it hard to believe that someone who was transitioning for 5 years and then detransitions was actually not trans. I find that one hard to believe because, like, how did you make it that far? Or did you just get bullied back into the closet? Do you think some emotions are just hormonal? They may feel different, especially as they get older. I don't really know what to make of that question. Some emotions are hormonal? I don't really know what that question's getting at. I'm sorry. Yeah, if you try and re-ask it, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Did I take hormones when I transitioned? Yeah, I've been on hormones, going on my 4-year hormone anniversary in a few weeks. I think they mean they may change their mind after puberty. That I don't think that's. I'm not sure what. Puberty. Well, once again, like, puberty is not a process that happens in a week. Puberty is a process that happens over many years. So once again, if you're moving in a direction that doesn't feel good, you're gonna feel that, right? There's plenty of times to get off the train before it's too late. What all places have I traveled to? So many places. So many places. I'm lucky. My dad was in the Army growing up, and we were stationed in Germany for about 2 years when I was very little. I lived in Georgia, I lived in Florida, I lived in Minnesota, and I live in California. I've been to plenty of US states, a lot of Western Europe as a result of my dad being in the Army. Yeah. What do you think is the best way to deal with gender dysphoria? Here's a great question from K-Boat. K-Boat, there is one way, it's nearly foolproof on how you deal with gender dysphoria. Super easy. Well, maybe not easy, but it's easy to see, and that is transition. The cure to gender dysphoria, or at least the treatment for gender dysphoria, there is only one, and it is to transition. If you are suffering from gender dysphoria, the only true way to alleviate it is to transition. There is no pretending you're not trans, there is no conversion therapy, it's all BS compared to the one true thing you can do, transition. How do my parents react to me coming out? Pretty well. They're very supportive. Is it bad to assume someone's gender? Yes. I don't even need to read the rest of the question. It's bad to assume. Even if that's what you've been taught by your job, if your job tells you to assume someone's gender, your job is incorrect. And someone up in either the training, HR chain is doing something wrong. So yes, bad to assume. You can always ask someone's pronouns. You can always ask. If you ask where the restroom is, what is the best way to reply if they don't know your pronouns? Well, typically the restrooms are right next to each other. So if someone says, "Where's the restroom?" unless like they're on the opposite side of the rest of the the place, usually they're like right next to each other. So you say, "Yeah, right down the hall," and they can pick the one themselves. One of my friends is thinking they're trans, but their parents are saying it's wrong. How do I help? There's only so much you can do, chalkboard. You have to be a supportive friend as best you can. And look, if your friend thinks they're trans, they probably are, and they're going to need someone to lean on. So you can't change their parents' mind, probably. You can only be a good friend to that person. And if it comes to a point where they need a place to crash, then maybe you can be that for them. Yeah. Why do you think it's right to be trans? Here's a good question. Wrong thing to pin. I think that was me that accidentally pinned it. Someone said, why do you think it's right to be trans? So I'm going to ask you a different question. Why do you think it's right to have brown hair? Or why do you think it's right to be 6 foot tall? Why do you think it's right to be left-handed, right? These are all things about me that I didn't choose. I didn't choose to have brown hair. I know it's red, but it's usually natural color is brown. I didn't choose to be left-handed. I didn't choose to be 6 foot tall. Okay? I didn't choose to have blue eyes. Yet here I am. I didn't choose to be trans. So there's no right or wrong. It's not right to have brown hair. It's not wrong to have blonde hair. It just is. There's no value attached to it. It's not like, oh yeah, the right way to be is blank. No. It's fine if you're trans or cis. There's nothing right or wrong about either. Does that make sense? What do you think is the best way to deal with someone saying the wrong pronouns? I'll correct them. Say, actually, my pronouns are this. And hopefully they're cool with that. You correct them immediately. Don't let it linger. And they don't need to apologize for a million years either. Just say, actually, these are my pronouns, right? And you can, or say, I'm actually not sir. I am man. Or you don't need to call me either. Just call me Lily, or whatever you want. Always say it out loud. It's tough when you don't say it, and because it festers, and you're like, I wish I had said something. So, yeah. Do you think you have gender dysphoria? All trans people have gender dysphoria. Yeah. So, yes. You're in the Bay Area. I'm not in the Bay Area right now, but I do live in the Bay. Yes. Will I ever grow my bangs out? My bangs are pretty grown out, I would say. What toilet do I use? I use the women's restroom. I'm a woman, therefore I use the women's restroom. Curiously, medically, are you treated as male or female? So this is a question that I think people like to put a lot of mustard on the whole. But what if you're like in an ambulance and they need to treat you, right? Like, medication in general is based on your weight, okay? Not like if you have ovaries or not. There are really next to no examples of, especially emergency situations, where like your assigned at birth gender comes into play at all. So am I treated as male or female? I'm treated as myself, right? There's nothing that I do healthcare wise day to day that really needs that my doctors are like, well, actually, we're giving her a different dose of this, or we're taking like a really different approach because she was assigned male at birth. It's all kind of the same. Medication is based on weight anyways. Does that make sense? Would you rather someone avoid pronouns altogether while talking to you, or accidentally use the wrong one? I'd rather someone just ask. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I don't need you to feel like, oh, like you're walking on eggshells with me. Just use the right pronouns. And if you don't know, you can ask. It's really not an offensive question at all. In fact, the restaurant that I'm at right now, they asked me my pronouns. Before, like as they were seating me, they said, and by the way, what are your pronouns? And I said, she, her. And I was grateful that they asked, because that means that I'm not going to get misgendered, because they wanted to know so they didn't get it wrong. Yeah. How do you deal with transphobia? With a lot of it's not easy. The world is very difficult right now, but the way I deal with it is by having good people around me that care about me. Yeah, they did ask. They did ask. You found a big clue. Great. Do you think that cis women are privileged compared to trans women? I mean, it's all relative, right? I think there are certain things that trans women have that cis women don't. For example, a monthly cycle for some can be really difficult. And there are some things that cis women have that trans women don't, right? Like, a lot of people just don't think trans women exist, right? So that's a pretty big hurdle, right? Cis women don't usually have to deal with transphobia unless, of course, you're one of those people that, like, is cis, but, maybe has features that make people think you're trans, and then you have to deal with it even though you're not trans. So I think privilege is a sliding scale. And I think that cis women have plenty to deal with, and so do trans women. And a lot of it overlaps and some of it doesn't. Am I a lesbian? Yes, I'm a lesbian. Do you feel that people asking your pronouns implies that they are confused about your identity? I get what you're saying, that if someone asks my pronouns, they're not sure, right? So maybe I'm not like presenting how I want to present. And if you ask someone their pronouns, you're saying like, I'm not sure. When I look at you, I'm not sure. I get that. But also, we get it Like trans people understand. It's not like I don't know that I don't pass. I get that I don't pass, right? And if you don't know what pass means like, do I look trans, right? Do I look trans? The answer is yes. And that's not a bad thing. And actually plenty of trans people like looking trans, right? And being clockable as a trans person. It can be a good thing, right? In fact, so I don't think it's a good or a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. Now, when someone asks me my pronouns, is there an element of, I'm not sure, so I want to ask you? Yes. But does that offend me? No. No, because what it really means is that person is a safe person to be around. What it means is that person cares enough to not get it wrong, right? And I care so much more about that than I do about an implication that I don't pass. Because once again, I know I don't pass and that's fine. So it's not an insult. Yeah. Do you want to change your voice? Do I want to change my voice? I think there may be a day, I don't know when, where I decide to voice train. There might be a day. Maybe I wake up one morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And if I do, it'll be a journey and y'all will be a part of that journey. However, I like my voice today. And I probably will like my voice tomorrow and the next day. Thank you, Nora, for subscribing. I like my voice a lot. I think it's pleasant to listen to. I don't feel like less of a woman because of it. I don't feel like in order to feel like my true self, I have to have a higher voice. Now, if I could snap my fingers and have a higher voice and skip all of the training, would I do it? Maybe. Maybe. And I think, you know, if that were to happen, then I think those of you who really like my voice would probably like a higher version of my voice too. But I'm kind of just like, I'm happy with it now. There's other priorities I have before voice train. But if I do voice train, I will probably do it on stream. Yeah. Have you ever had a really bad experience because of being trans? Absolutely, Becca. There's some videos out, just those alone. You can go back in my timeline in San Francisco of times where I've been verbally harassed, physically, on camera. That one's only on Insta because they wouldn't let me post it on this app. But absolutely, I've had people. In a more passive way where it's not, you know, confrontations aside, which have happened and on video have happened, just on the streets, like I get a lot of looks. You know, I think sometimes, like there was, what was it, at the airport the other day. Hey, you're my biggest inspiration. I came out to my parents yesterday after seeing you. Oh, I hope it went well. That is so sweet. I really hope it went well. And if it did, congrats. If it didn't, you know you got my love and a lot of love from our community. But I was in the airport yesterday. Or, no, you know what? Maybe that was on my trip back from Minnesota. But there was a man, presuming a man, just like an older guy. And he was walking by me, and he made eye contact with me. And then he looked down to my well. Then looked back up, gave one of these, and then walked off. And I was like, clearly the thought process in their head was, trans? Look down, I guess, look back up, okay, bye. Well, isn't that weird? So, like, is that a bad experience? No. Is it a weird experience? Yeah. And I think that kind of thing happens on a daily basis. I just don't notice it. Anytime I'm, like, walking around, I get looks. And I'm used to it at this point. But I'm gender fluid and have transphobic parents. On top of that, I'm in the UK. I'm so sorry. That's so difficult. The UK is real. I mean, the US is, everywhere is tough for trans people right now. Why are you not getting bottom surgery if you're trans? Well, first off, you don't need to get bottom surgery in order to be trans. Oh, we can go fit check. Here, I'll do a quick fit check. You don't need bottom surgery in order to be trans. You're trans just because you are, right? You're like, there's no like requirement. Yeah, this is my fit today, and I'm wearing some white tennis shoes. It's hard to show you that. So no, and there are plenty of trans people who don't want bottom surgery. I am not one of them. I do want bottom surgery, but I also know that my identity is what it is, and it's not going to change based on my body parts. What does my shirt say? My shirt says, not all men, but probably him. Thank you, Tuxedo Boys. Yes, I have gotten FFS. I got FFS in February, and I'm still quite swollen from that, even though it might not look like it. You should look at a picture of me from a couple months ago. You'll see swelling has gone down, but swelling on the nose is still pretty significant, chin and forehead, and that will all go down over the next year or two. Whoa, a big clue. If you know, you know. It's true. Someone's asking about being cis and trans. Okay, I'm just wondering, why are bio women called cis and trans women called, hold on, and trans women just women? How is that fair? Well, first off, the idea of biological women is not a thing. Biological implies, oh, they're like inherently women. They're like the real quote unquote women. When in reality, the umbrella term woman encompasses both cis and trans women. Both are born women, right? They're all women. You could say, you don't need to say trans woman, you can just say woman. You don't need to say cis woman, you could just say woman. But it's like chocolate and vanilla ice cream, right? They're both ice cream. They've both always been ice cream. They have a lot in common, right? They have 90% the same ingredients, but there's just like a little bit of variance in terms of their flavor, right? The same thing goes for women, right? The umbrella of women. Cis and trans women are both women, have always been women. They share that noun. It's just the adjective of cis versus trans is like a different flavor. You can kind of think of it that way. Do some people do multiple rounds of FFS, or is it a one-time thing? Usually it's a one-time thing. I've heard of there being revisions where, you know, if something doesn't heal correctly, or, you know, if you want something a little bit more one way, you can go back, but I certainly won't. Like I would imagine like 90% of the time it's a one and done. Same thing for bottom surgery. Yeah, got that question. What is FFS? It's facial feminization perjury. What are we eating today? We're at a tapas restaurant. How long have I been trans? I've been trans my entire life. Just like, you know, I've been left-handed my entire life. I've been trans my entire life. It's not something you become. You don't become gay. You don't become a brunette. I mean, I guess technically you can have like blonde hair as a baby. I had blonde hair as a baby, but you know what I mean. Tapas, T-A-P-A-S. It is Spanish small plate. So we'll read the menu in just a minute. I know, isn't it a cute restaurant? Can you see the nails? Yes. Trans is not okay, someone said being trans is a choice. And I want to be clear. It is not a choice. It is not a choice, okay? No one wakes up and says, you know what? I think I want to become trans. Think about it this way. Trans people have a really tough time in the world right now. We are getting rights stripped away from us left and right. It is a lot of discrimination to be trans. It is a lot of pain, but it's also a lot of joy. That being said, why would someone choose this, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that it can be a little tough. And in a broad sense, it's easier, it's a path of less resistance to not be trans. So why would anyone do that, right? Wouldn't it be easier to not be trans? Sure. No one's choosing this, right? You're dealt the hands you're dealt. People who are trans have always been trans. Now, the question is not do you become trans, but do you transition, right? Once you know the truth of who you are, do you say, well, I want to be myself and actually, you know, take a shot at being happy? Or do you say, I'm going to stay in the closet because I don't want to be like, I don't want to have to go through all of the trials and tribulations of transitioning, which are true. But also, if you stay in the closet, you're going to be sad your entire life. No question. So the choice is yours. It doesn't make you any less or more trans if you decide to transition. Plenty of trans people don't transition, and that's sad, but true. What rights are being taken away from you as a result of being trans? Read the news, my friend. Like the recent ruling in the UK that trans women aren't women and trans men aren't men, like crazy. Like passport applications are being denied left and right. The right to access gender affirming care, depending on the state, is being taken away some or completely. I mean, just look around. A lot of rights are being taken away. It's incredibly scary. It's incredibly scary to be trans. Yeah. Okay. I think. Are there any other questions? How did I tell my parents, and how did they react? Let me answer that question. Give me 1 second. We have a special guest. Just give me a sec. Would you like to sit? There's a question. How did I tell my parents, and how did they react? We have a special guest star. All right. Do you know? So this is Mama Tino, everyone.
Hi.
And I asked Mom, how did you react when I told you I was trans?
Honestly, we were shocked. Yeah, we were shocked.
Okay.
You were giving us signals, but it just didn't occur to us that could be it.
So what happened with the shock? What did you do after the shock?
We immediately told you that we love and accept you in any situation, and that we will support you and embrace your true self.
What were the signals? Someone asked.
Oh, Lily was growing out her hair. She was wearing purple glasses. She was doing her nails, but I still didn't get it.
Someone else did.
Gabe.
Sibling got it.
Yeah, our son, Lily's brother, got it. He figured it out through video games. Yeah.
Anyways.
Hey, privilege.
All right. Nice. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for being nice to my mama. All right. Let's read the menu. What do you say? What time is it? Yeah, I think it's time to read the menu. What do you say? Trans women in sports should be allowed. Let them compete. Let them compete. Oh no, she's staying to eat. She's just sitting somewhere else with my sibling. She's off with my sibling, like not on stream because they don't want to be on stream for the whole time. Don't worry, they're already eating and doing their whole thing. But I'm like a few tables away. Okay, I think it's time to read the menu. All right. So once again, this is a Spanish tapas restaurant. Okay, it's pretty fancy. They're very nice here. Y'all ready for this? So once again, we're now on sub only. However, if you have a question that you want to ask me, I'll probably open the floodgates a little bit later. But if you really want to ask a question and you think it's worth $2.69, which is how much the subscription costs for an entire month, and you can also, it doesn't auto renew if you don't want it to. You can set it to not auto renew. If you feel like asking a question is worth that, feel free to subscribe. Also, at 800 subscriptions, we're going to a sushi train restaurant, which is exciting. Are we on the? Yes, I'm visiting my family. I'm visiting my family right now. Sub only is the best. Hello, Trish. Also, we got a gift that was really nice that I would like to read. I need to drink some. You know what? I have hot tea. That's what this is. Is this chamomile? It's not chamomile, but it's herbal. I'll take it. Okay. We got a gift from an anonymous person. Thank you so much. This is so sweet. This is, they said, love my Lily girl, keep going, with a pink sparkly heart emoji. Thank you so much, friend. That is so nice of you. Y'all throw some tanks out for our anonymous friend. I don't want to blow up their spot. I know they asked to be anonymous, and that is totally reasonable because the trolls are nasty. But thank you so much for supporting the stream. Today we are in Asheville. Got a restaurant here. Oh yeah, it's not blocked. So yeah, it's Curate. This is like a Spanish tapas restaurant. Never been here before. They're really sweet so far. So anyways, yeah. Thank you to the anonymous person for supporting the stream and making this meal happen. Which truly, this is how these meals happen, is because of those gifts. Yes, Asheville, North Carolina. Okay. It's a big menu. Yeah, it looks like hibiscus tea. Can anyone watch? Yeah, anyone can watch. It's okay. There's a fresh baguette with served with olive our curate Spanish olive oil. I think we'll have to get that. Would I get a job? You mean like this job? This is a job. Even though it doesn't feel like a job, it definitely is. Oh my God, you're so close. Yeah, cool. You're not far from you. Cool. All right. Fresh baguette. They have aceitunas. Aceitunas? I don't know how to say that. It's a marinated olive blend with olive oil potato chips. So olive oil, potato chips, and olives. Makes sense. Has Asheville gone back to normal after the hurricane? From what I can tell, yes, but there are a lot of restaurants that I was looking up that weren't open anymore, which is sad. They have almendras fritas, which are fried Marcona almonds. Okay. There's a galida, which is an anchovy skewer. Ooh. You're only 3 hours away? Well, there you go. Anchovy skewer with olive and pipara. There's a pan con tomate, which is, I think, a pretty standard tapas dish. Toasted bread with fresh tomato, garlic, and olive oil. And you can add manchego cheese. You can add anchovies. You can add different kinds of anchovies. You can also add a combination of the two different kinds of anchovies. A lot of different types of anchovies. Also, we got another question that came through via text because someone, Ahmad was trying to pin it. And they said, if you could start any trans organization, what would you start? Like if I could start a nonprofit, what would I start? That's a really good question. I feel like food would play a role in it. I'm not sure what though. The idea of starting a nonprofit has definitely floated around in my head before. A way of supporting the trans community in a broader sense, but I'm not sure what yet. And I do have experience in nonprofit work, so I'm not entirely opposed to it, but I would need to be the right idea. If y'all have ideas, please share them. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is really sweet. All right, this is another anonymous gift. Hello, Danny. Please throw some gas tanks out. An anonymous person sent $100. I'll let that sit for a second before I read the note. That's a lot of money. That is so generous. That is so generous. Thank you, anonymous person. They said, for you and your amazing family's lunch, I love seeing the support you have, and you are all very lucky. Have an amazing trip. With 2 pink heart emoji, or the dual pink heart emoji, much like my tattoo is inspired. This is really sweet of this person. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the stream and supporting me. You know, I didn't come to Asheville to stream. I came to Asheville to visit my parents. I don't get to get out here very often because, you know, it is expensive to not just be on a plane, but to get Nugget taken care of for the week or however long. And, you know, it's just a lot to come out here. But I really wanted to do a stream while I was here. 2 streams. We're doing another Asheville stream tomorrow. Just know that I'm really grateful that y'all allow me to do this with your support. Someone earlier asked, like, would I get a job? And it's like, this is, you know, with respect, like, this is my job. It really doesn't feel like a job at all. It feels like fun a lot. It feels like a community, a hangout, but you know, it is ultimately the way I support myself, and y'all get to, you know, be here with me because of these gifts. So thank you. Cheers to you. Thank you. Hello, Mo. I know Asheville is a very cool place. Is Asheville a blue state? My family and I want to get out of the red state. I don't know if it's a blue state entirely, but Asheville itself is very liberal. Like when I came to talk to the people up front, not only did they ask my pronouns, you know, I was kind of warning them about, like, you know, trolls and stuff. And they said, oh, don't worry, we're all gay here. And as a way of saying, like, you're safe, like, you're good, don't worry. And I was like, I get it. But also, I live in SF and things still happen. So, anyways, hello, Mila, how are you? Anyways, so again, thank you to that anonymous person for that gift. Also, North Carolina is red, but Asheville is yeah. That's what I thought. Oh, this is so sweet. All right, another gift just came through. Let me know. I'm not sure if this person wants to be anonymous or not. I'll say it's from T until I know otherwise. T sent $20. Thank you, T. And said, "Hello, beautiful friend. Please have an amazing lunch and a fun trip," with a hand heart emoji, a hug emoji, and a black heart emoji. Love you. Well, I love you, T. I almost said the full name, but thank you again. Once again, I love doing this with y'all. It makes my days. You know, even though it's like kind of a gloomy day out in Asheville, and it's both humid but also not hot enough to, I don't know. I have seasonal affective disorder, but this I love doing with y'all. I love that I'm able to come out and visit my family, and also share like that joy with y'all, because it is joy. I'm so happy. Like today, y'all, I had such a lovely thing happen this morning with my mom. So I've only been to Asheville. This is my second time since transitioning that I've been to Asheville. The first time was before I started streaming, actually. It was like summer 2022, so like 6 months or so before I started making content. And I was not as far along. I didn't really have my fashion sensibilities in the same way I do now. I wasn't as interested in like jewelry and makeup and stuff. It was all kind of like I was still learning. Asheville, not Nashville. Yeah, North Carolina, Asheville. Oh, thank you, Mo. And I sat down with my mom, and we just like looked at all of her jewelry, and not like in a way of I was gonna, you know, get any of it. It was more just like, show me what you have, because we can connect in this way. And like clothes and jewelry that I never ever have gotten to do with my mom ever, because we just haven't been in the same. I haven't been to her place for a while since I transitioned. So it was like, I don't know. I just felt so like, oh my gosh, I'm bonding with my mom in a way that I never have gotten to. And it was like a 20-minute conversation. It wasn't like that long, but it was like, oh, yay, I get to do this. So anyways, the point is, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to be able to be here because of y'all's generosity. So thank you. Okay, so we definitely are going to want to get the pan con tomate. They're also doing traditional Catalan dishes right now. So the pan con tomate, that has like the little signifier that it's a traditional Catalan dish. So we'll get that. There's also charcuterie and cheese. They've got, they also have the spring celebration menu. A full circle moment, yeah. I probably will pass on charcuterie because I'm looking for warm stuff. Although they do have tabla de quesos, which is a selection of 3 Spanish cheeses and accompaniments for only $21. And a tabla de karate, which looks to be a bunch of meats on a charcuterie board. How do you find having all the laser hair removal? Well, actually, I do electrolysis usually, which is far more painful than laser. Yeah, it's painful. They have croquetas, which are traditional creamy mushroom fritters. They have chorizo wrapped in potato chips. Interesting. I'm just going to not even attempt to say these words. They have fried eggplant with honey and rosemary. They have patatas bravas, which are kind of like the French fries of tapas. It looks like they have a small version of it, so we might go get a small of that. They have a sopa de asparagus blancos, so that's going to be like white asparagus soup. Ooh, white asparagus soup. That sounds good. They have ensalada, salad. They have salteado a la catalana, which is sauteed seasonal greens, roasted beets. I love beets. Marcona almonds and sweet onions. That could be good. What are these little abbreviations? I know what V is vegetarian, gluten-free is GF. LF? What's LF? I don't know. Pimentos de piquillo rellenos. Piquillo pepper stuffed with Spanish goat cheese. That sounds good. Lactose-free? Lactose-free. Yep, thank you. They have chili roasted red bell peppers. They have sauteed mushrooms. They have octopus. They have sauteed shrimp. They have a tortilla, a Spanish omelet. That looks maybe tortilla española, Spanish omelet, kilo peppers. Maybe that's like, what's the thing where you like soak the chips and stuff? The bottle's behind me. I think it's just water. It's just where they keep the water. Like I have one on my table right here. They have macarons, which are, Spanish mac and cheese with chorizo, sofrito, and breadcrumbs. That sounds good. They have wild foraged Jasper grilled ramps. So ramps, I think, are these like little green kind kind of bushel thingies with romesco sauce. Ooh, they have The Spanish Experience, $70 per person. Our handpicked menu by Katie Button and Felix Manas, featuring traditional Catalan dishes. Oh, they need parties of 2 or more. I wonder if I could do The Spanish Experience. Low-free means low-fat. DF is usually used to denote dairy-free. I'm going to ask if we can do that because I love a tasting menu. I love the excitement of ordering and not knowing what you're going to get. But it looks like it's for 2 or more, so if it's easy for them to accommodate, great. If not, no worries. We can do our own things. They have large plates. If you don't mind me asking, how did my family take to me wanting to transition? Super well, Danny. Super duper well. My mom is actually in the restaurant right now. She's great. They have charcoal grilled trout. They have thin noodles, paella style, with squid in its ink. They have pork sausage, white bean salad. That's kind of good. They have a charcoal grilled Iberico pork shoulder. They have lamb skewers. They have mussels. Then they have desserts, which we'll get to. They also have the spring celebration menu. Okay. Tartare de salchichon, which is going to be like a ham tartare. I'm assuming it's not raw pork. Confit egg yolk, some bread, and sobrasada ribbons. That looks good. This is like the special menu. They have a calamari thing. I don't like calamari. And then they have a special dessert and some special wines. So here's what I'm thinking. I think first and foremost, we ask if we can get the Spanish Experience menu. First and foremost. And if they can do that for one person, well, that's what we'll do. And we'll get what we get, and don't get upset, because I love a tasting menu. I love just getting stuff and not knowing what it is, especially when it's what the kitchen thinks is best. If that is not possible, we will ask our server and just kind of get like a mishmash of stuff. Okay, so is there any possibility that the Spanish Experience could be for one?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much food is it, would you say?
It's 5 courses.
5 courses. Including a dessert course. Okay, and that's just like whatever the kitchen wants.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling lucky.
Okay.
So let's do it.
Perfect.
Perfect. So I don't think I need to order anything then if
you're
you're doing
all
the
good.
Spanish Experience.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Started.
Thank you. Does it have? You know what? I don't want to ask. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Thank you very much. Okay, y'all. We don't know what it's going to be. We got 5 courses coming, including a dessert. We never get to do this. Where are we? We're at a tapas restaurant in Asheville, North Carolina, because I'm visiting my parents. And tomorrow, we're also going to be streaming in Asheville. Not next week. I'll be back next week, but I have a couple ideas for restaurants. So we'll see where I end up. I won't say until I'm there where I'm thinking of going, but there's some places. And Asheville's really nice. If you didn't know, it got hit by a hurricane really bad last year, like really bad. A lot of restaurants had to shut down. Why isn't my mom with me? Oh, she you mean like why isn't she like on the stream? Because she's spending time with my brother. My brother and my mom are having brother and mom time elsewhere in this restaurant. My mom wanted to make an appearance. She did, and she's doing great over there with my brother. So don't even worry. There's no like Mama Tino being sidelined. I could cry. Oh, well, I am in Asheville, but yeah. Are you going to stream every Wednesday now too? Probably not anytime soon. I'm really trying to think about a video gaming thing. Maybe on Wednesday. I'm trying to move towards that. I got like a special camera that I could use for gaming. And if I did it, I'd probably do it on Wednesdays, because Wednesdays I still do stuff. I'm still creating. It's not like it's a day. It's just a day off from streaming. That doesn't mean it's a day off from like everything else. I still am filming. I'm still doing the whole thing. And sometimes Wednesdays are more exhausting because I have like 7 things that I need to do: administrative stuff, filming stuff, editing. Editing is like takes a lot of time. I hope everything is okay. Oh no, everything's great. I just haven't visited my family in a long time. Everything's great. No, everyone's in good health. It's just been a while because my mom was with me. She thank you, Tay, for subscribing. Opa, cheers. Thank you. My mom visited me, took care of me when I got FFS. in early February. She was with me for like 2 weeks, and I'll tell you, that was so important. We bonded in a way. Yeah, I'm not sure yet, Pat, if it would be on Twitch. I kind of think it might try it on TikTok. I often think about going to SF and buying you dinner. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. That would be so sweet. Yeah, but she got to take care of me, and I was so grateful to that for her. And we bonded in a way that was really important to me. It was really special. And I said, you know what? I don't want to go so long without seeing my mom and my dad. I don't want to go that long anymore because there's, over the past few years, especially with the pandemic, it's been really hard to find not just the time to see them, but, the energy and the money and all these different things. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go sooner rather than later, and I booked the flight. Hello, 444. And everything's good, and we're going out for dinner tonight as a family with some family friends, and it's going to be wonderful. And tomorrow as well, and my dad's around, just hanging out, being a family. Last night we watched some of Mission Impossible 5 because those are some of my favorite movies, and I know my dad's gonna love it. He already does. Your mom stuck it out with me through FFS and COVID. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Tay says, I respect you a lot. I've been a silent watcher and I admire everything you stand for. Thank you. That is so sweet. Yeah, Sim Stream would be fun. Sim Stream would be fun. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you, Mo. And y'all, we're going to Disney World next month. We got a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline. Just got on TikTok and you saw the movie theater video. Wasn't that funny? I had to share that. I was so scared. There was a part of that video where towards the end I said F Maria Menounos in like a funny way because she was the one on the video. I almost included that. Dead by Daylight, maybe. I've never played that though. Spend as much time as possible because once you can. It's true. When is the cruise? The cruise is sometime this summer. I'm not going to say when. One of those things that I try not to give anyone too much leeway into looking up. But that will also be with my family. I would love to stream every day on the cruise. My only question is cruise Wi-Fi, even the Wi-Fi that you pay for, is cruise Wi-Fi good enough to stream? Because if it's just like spot, even if it's like every few minutes, Wi-Fi has to be really good in order to.
So unfortunately, I tried to find a way around it. We can't do it for one.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't see that it was for two. But I'm happy to curate my own Spanish experience.
Oh,
if you're interested.
Sure. Where?
Let me bring it in.
Okay. All right. I guess we're not doing the Spanish experience anymore.
Alright, we'll here, so I'm starting.
Okay. So I looked at the menu and had a few things, but I'm curious what your Spanish experience would be.
I really love, I start with the pan con tomate.
That seems with manchego. Okay.
I usually have manchego, but
Nope. We can do that. Sure.
The Baroness Pavil fried eggplant with local honey is one of my favorites.
Okay.
I love I pair the setas, so the mushrooms,
Okay.
and the charcoal grilled American pork shoulder together.
Okay.
I love the mussels,
Mussels. Got it.
but if there's something that caught your eye more,
Yeah, sure. So the things that caught my eye probably would be the patatas bravas. That's kind of like a staple.
yeah.
The asparagus soup looked good. Let's see. The mac and cheese. That's probably mac and cheese. Maybe
Okay.
the ramps. Maybe I'm open to things here like the pork sausage. Also, the Iberico looks good. So.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not much of a rosemary person, which is the only reason I'm like kind of. Is it pretty strong rosemary flavor?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How about? I mean, the asparagus soup is cold, right? Okay. The pan con tomate. I'm trying to think like what would be like kind of a good center point, like a centerpiece for the meal. Would it be a main, or would it make more sense to try like a bunch of small plates? Like I think it's more fun to try small plates.
I also think it's more fun to try a couple of things, but there are delicious larger plates as well. I mean, these aren't going to be like super large. Like these two are enough to feed like 4 people.
Right.
But these are just like smaller ones.
Okay. Well, how about we stick to the small plate? So I can do a small patatas bravas. Is that what the $6 one is? Okay, we'll do that. Plus the pan con tomate. You said the eggplant. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm trying to be more open to rosemary.
Okay.
So I'll try it.
Okay.
And how much food is that? That's 3 things?
Yeah, so we have the pineapple tomate, Aramenas, and apple tomatoes.
Yeah.
We can start there, see how you're feeling.
Sure.
We'll go from there if you want.
Okay, and of the desserts, I haven't even read them through yet, but are what sticks out on the dessert menu? The top two?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I know you're not into rosemary, so I would go with
The Basque cheesecake?
because you're already trying the eggplant. I would do Basque
Okay.
cheesecake.
All right. Well, maybe I'll try the eggplant and surprise, and I just like rosemary.
Okay.
Could happen.
I'll get you started.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And could I have a little bit more hot water in this,
Yeah.
please? Thank you so much. Could I hold on to the menu also?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Protein, yeah. Well, we got cheese. No, we're at a tapas restaurant. And this, I believe, is a hibiscus tea. Yes, the chat is sub only for now. So let's see. What did we just ordered the pan con tomate with manchego cheese. What was that? We ordered the patatas bravas. That's fried potatoes. We ordered the fried eggplant. So yeah, I think a protein would be good. I know, isn't it pretty, T? A protein would be good. The mac and cheese has chorizo and sofrito, so that could be good. Yeah, we can't do the tasting for some reason. So I went on a cruise last year. It was kind of spotty, but not too bad. Okay. Now, were you streaming though? Because I feel like it's one thing to just check your messages or even to upload something, but I think streaming needs like a really steady. Oh, lawyer vibes, thank you. Spanish tapas place has good shrimp. Gotcha. They have shrimp here. Gambas ajillo, but I'll have to ask because last time I got shrimp at a tapas restaurant, it was head-on shrimp, which tastes really fishy. I like shrimp as long as it's not head-on shrimp. There's also the Spanish omelet, which would have a good amount of protein. So we could do that. Hell nah what, RP? Don't stream. No, I don't stream, but you never know. I will definitely try. For real, drop the lipstick. It is Maybelline Superstay. Maybelline Superstay. Yeah, one of their red ones. They're really cheap. They're like less than $10. Thank you so much. All right. Lawyer on lunch meeting a client. Thank you. Mama Tino's here. She's just hanging out with my brother in the background. They're when I stream, I focus entirely on the stream, right? And I'm gonna have time with my mom later. Thank you, Daniel. So she's hanging out. She's got company, so it's all good. I think for a protein, because we already have 3 tapas. I don't think there's any use in ordering. They have a pork sausage. The Iberico pork is like $41. Not that that's like impossible, but it's probably going to be a big entree compared to maybe something smaller. Hello, Soren. How you doing? The Spanish omelet. Yeah, I think either the Spanish omelet, the mac and cheese, or the shrimp look to be kind of like the protein heavy dishes. Not that I'm like trying to get a certain amount of protein. I just want some protein because I did exercise this morning. You think chicken? Wait, chicken? Where's the chicken? I don't think I mentioned chicken. Did I? Maybe I did. We could also do a meat and cheese thing. It's not hot though. It's the omelet. Yeah, we'll ask about that. The omelet, the mac and cheese, or the sautéed shrimp. Those are I think are the 3 protein options. And then we also have dessert as well. I'm good, Soren. How are you? Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace to be in Asheville. But then again, also like this is a really nice restaurant. I could see this kind of restaurant absolutely doing well in San Francisco. Like they're nice people. It seems to be good food, even though I haven't had any of it. But just from what I can tell, it's this. I can tell this is going to be good. Where am I eating? It's a restaurant called Curate in Asheville. Nope, haven't missed anything. Chicken is a good protein. That is true. But I don't even know if there is chicken on this menu. If there is, there's not much of it. I think it's more like beef and lamb. Oh, you know what they do have? Oh, you know what they have? They have a tartare. They have a tartare. And I think I want that because that's protein. Asheville, not Nashville, just with an A. I've not tried Tupelo Honey. Tupelo Honey was on my list of places to try, but I know it's a chain and I kind of wanted to go to like a smaller business. And I believe that this is a one-of-one restaurant. I had to finish my class. Glad I made it back in time. I'm glad you did too. Thank you, Soren. I feel good today too. I kind of dressed it down with some jeans on the bottom. Got my like nice little earrings. Yeah, no. We'll do the tartare. I totally forgot about that. No, that'll be perfect because that's on the special menu. Although we can ask. We can ask about the others like Spanish omelet versus the. Oh, thank you, Aaliyah. You're very sweet. And I think the tartare does sound amazing. We'll ask. I think probably we'll say omelet versus. I'm curious what y'all would want to see. The tartare, which I think it's like ham tartare. I don't think it's raw ham though. Tartare versus smile for tartare, frown for the Spanish omelet. Smile for the tartare, frown for the Spanish omelet. And we'll also ask our server. We got plenty of time. I'll also, while you're smile for tartare, frown for the omelet. That's what I said, right? Smile for tartare, frown for omelet. Oh, there's our server. They'll probably make their way. They'll make their way back to us. The tartare's winning by a good amount, but good amount. 20 bucks. That's a good amount. Good amount. And we're going to have 5 courses too, because we've already ordered 3. We'll order at least 1 more savory, and then, all right, y'all, here are the, hold on, it's making me confirm I'm still here. There we go. They have 5 different desserts. The first 2 were the ones the server recommended. Okay, so y'all would rather see the tartare. Got it. They have a tarta de queso, which is a burnt Basque cheesecake with oat crumble and sherry macerated strawberries. Oh, sounds good. They have a crema catalana, which is rosemary custard with brulee demerara sugar and dehydrated rosemary. Look, we already have 1 rosemary heavy dish. The crema catalana is rosemary heavy. There's also a mousse de chocolat with hazelnut cake, chocolate mousse, amontillado sherry ice cream, and candied hazelnuts. That sounds good. There's also a disciolo, which is tonic snow, chemist gin-soaked mixed berries, sweet yogurt mousse, and toasted meringue chips. That is a funky dessert. That looks to be kind of like a cocktail, but in dessert form, which may be a little too much on the alcohol with me. And even maybe a little past just like touch, it looks like. And then they have house-made ice creams and sorbets. Well, yeah, I'm between either the cheesecake. You like the mousse, the chocolate? That wasn't one of the ones they recommended, though. They recommended either the burnt cheesecake or the creme catalana, the custard. But, I mean, look, we don't need to go with them. We don't need to go with their... And we'll know. It all sounds good, though. I mean, I'm always a chocolate girl. But also, the burnt Basque cheesecake is kind of like a Tapas staple, Basque cheesecake. And I love a cheesecake. Not a fan of cheesecake, but that sounds delicious. Yeah, the oat crumble and macerated strawberries. We can also just ask about the house-made ice creams. Oh, no, we're not on dessert. We haven't even gotten course number 1. I have a question. I had a question. What was my question? Oh, my gosh. It was about the... Oh, right. Can you tell me about the Spanish? Is it like actually an omelet, like eggs with?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is an omelet. They cook it in a little cast iron.
Yeah.
So it's nice and thick.
Okay.
And it has the potatoes and onions inside of it.
Okay.
And then topped with the peppers and the sauce.
Okay. I'm between this, the tartare, and maybe even like the head-on shrimp or the mac and cheese, just for like a protein one.
Yeah. I would either go with the tartare or the tortilla house meat, whichever you're feeling.
Or the omelet. Let's go for the tartare.
The tartare.
Yes, please. Thank you. Tartare will be fun. Yeah, we'll go tartare. I think that's like, oh, and we got another gift. I hope this person is still around. I think they probably are. This is someone whose name starts with a J. I think we can just say it. Jessica. Hello, Jessica. No, they said we couldn't do the tasting menu because we had to have 2 people, but we assembled our own tasting menu. So we have 5. Just like that was 5 courses, we're also doing 5 courses. Jessica sent $5. Thank you, Jess. Or Jessica. Or whatever, however you want to be known. They said, I hope my state treats you well, with 2 pink heart emojis and a kiss emoji. Thank you. That's very sweet of you, Jess. Thank you so much. So far, the state of North Carolina, the great state of North Carolina, is treating me very well. I'm a big fan. I love Asheville. It's kind of, if you've never been to Asheville, even though North Carolina is a more conservative state, Asheville is a very, very liberal place, like kind of like a liberal oasis, liberal haven where there's a lot of good restaurants, there's a lot of like culture, there's like thrifting, there's activities, there's arcades. It's like a place. It's a vacation destination, and there's also a lot of locals. There's just like a lot of good culture here. Have I ever been to Maine? No, I'd like to go. Pin comment. You didn't get? Oh, Soren, well, if you sent it, it must have gone to the wrong person. If you do send a gift, make sure that you're going through the right link, because people out there will use my profile picture and count on you misspelling my name or something in order to get your gift. So if you sent it and I didn't shout it out, that is entirely because that's because you sent it to the wrong person, sadly. But you can usually get it back. You just make sure that you typed it correctly. Oh, it was a TikTok gift. Well, I apologize. I'm sorry. I tend not to see all of those, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, the thing about TikTok gifts, and they're fantastic, especially when you get the cool animations. But TikTok gets like 60% of that. Isn't that crazy? Even 60% of your subscription. You sent one too. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm sorry I missed it. Like the subscription costs $2, like a little under $3. They get like over $1.50 of that. You screenshot it. Okay, yeah, send me the screenshot. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm sorry. You know me well enough to know I'm on my soapbox. That's no excuse. But when I'm on my soapbox, there's no stopping me. I'm looking at the camera, but I'm also like in my own world talking. So, Tay, it's written in the bio specifically. So, in my bio, go into my bio, and whatever it says there is what it is. I don't know from memory, but anyways. What were we talking about before this? I think we should open the floodgates for a few more minutes. Mods, are you ready? Before I open the floodgates, for those of you who are watching, who are not subscribed, my goal in opening these floodgates is to get good questions. Questions that spur on a conversation, things that you're interested in. I'd like it to be good faith, right? So, ooh. Okay, maybe we put a pause on that floodgates for a second. Thank you so much. Look at this. It's like on a sheet of rock. This is pan de tomate with manchego cheese. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's make some room here. It's pretty good, if you ask me. Put my tea over here. Trying to fit it so y'all can all see it. Aren't there some of us who... Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, if you see me in the street, say hi. All right, here we go. Warm, crispy, not bread. Tomato is subtle, but adds a nice little acidity to it. A little bit of moisture. That is wonderful cheese, too. Is it aged? It kind of feels like it's aged. There's so much flavor. Whatever it is, it's manchego. It's fantastic. Like, it's really good. And it's so simple. Bread, tomato, cheese, olive oil. That's it. That's it. It's wonderful. 1 out of 10. I mean, for what it is, it's a 10 out of 10. It's great. It's wonderful. Also, the cheese being cold, you can see a world in which the cheese is melted, right? A lot of times when you get an appetizer like this, you can have cheese melted on top. But it's a bold thing to just let the cheese speak for itself. It's just the cheese. It becomes a center point. I actually can't really imagine this without the cheese. Oh, you're good, Lainey. You're good. If you come here, you have to get this. It's like a warm-up. It's a classic warm-up for any tapas meal, really. Usually there will be bread, tomato. Not always cheese. I don't know if I've had pan con tomate with cheese before. But usually just the bread and tomato. Kind of like the Spanish version of bruschetta, which is bread, tomato, mozzarella, basil. It's kind of like their version of that. Really nice. Thank you, Joyce, for subscribing. Hello. Cheers to you, my friend. I'll cheers to you with this teapot. Appreciate it. How is the bread and tomato reminds you of being in Spain? Yeah, bread and tomatoes. They're literal bread and butter is bread and tomatoes. Another gift just came through, y'all. This is so sweet. And this one has a very pointed thing that it would like to pay for, which is totally great. Someone, anonymous, sent $25. Thank you. And they said, a whiskey sour for mom and dad. With a little drink emoji. You got it. I think my mom will probably prefer an old fashioned over a whiskey sour. As far as I know. I've never seen her drink a whiskey sour. She only started on old fashions recently. Usually, but I do think that whatever she's drinking right now, and the one that she had when she was over here for a second, I want to say it was a gin drink. It looked very gin, because it was like ice, some sort of mint and fruit. Like it could have been a rum drink, but knowing her, I think it was probably gin. So yes, I will put it towards that. Thank you very much, anonymous friend. This bite is dedicated to you and to my mama. Oh. That's so good. That's so good. What do you mean by that, Soren? Am I coming east? I am east. I'm in Asheville. And yes, this is toast, tomato, cheese, and oil. Very simple, very good. Joy says, how do you say my son came out as trans, now she's starting to transition? Oh, great question, Joyce. And if that's the case for you, congrats to your kid. So if your kid is transitioning from male to female, much like me, and they say, actually, my pronouns are she, her now, you would say that you don't say the word son no longer applies, even in the past tense. You would say that my daughter is transitioning, period. And if anyone has questions, you can say, yes, transitioning to female. But the word son, you don't say son in reference to them at all. Like if my mom is talking about me in the past tense, even though I used to be called Nick in the past, I am always Lily in the past. And I'm always she in the past. I'm always daughter in the past. That is the convention. And congrats. Someone made a video about, that video. So the kid in that video was 25 years old and works for a major airline and has a child of their own. There was no child. I think their mom lives with her and her partner. But yeah, that's not a kid. That was a 25-year-old. The trolls want it to be a kid, but it's not. Oh, you're good, Joyce. You're good. All the drama. How do I feel? I mean, I don't like it. She's in the beginning stages, starting meditation. Interesting. Meditation. Can I ask more? What you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? Just like meditating on things? What PC do I own? I kind of built it myself, but it has a NVIDIA 40. It's a 40 series. I forget which one, but it runs most things really well. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. Feeling down today? Let's give some love to Liz in the chat, please. Let's give some love to Liz in the chat. We love our friend Liz. I've not saw that one, but that's gross. Yeah, it's literally like a grown adult. I know exactly what video you're talking about. It was a video from like a year and a half ago of me like joking around with innuendos of someone on the stream. And because I referenced their mom, people were able to take that clip, and say, oh, if their mom was in the room, it must have been a kid. But actually, again, they were 25, I think maybe 26, I don't know, mid to late 20s. They work on a major airline. They have a partner and a child, and I think their mom just lives with them. But people were able to say, oh, that's a child, so Lily must be a gross weirdo, because never do I reference their age in the video. So people can say it's one thing, and then you just believe it, because like, oh, mom must mean kid, but it's not. So anyways, means medication. What medication? Medication, not meditation. Duh, of course. Good for your daughter. I love that. 22 struggled with this because she was in the army, but she opted out. Okay, good. Yeah, Liz has got this. We love our friend Liz. Um, you know, we all have our trials and tribulations, but Liz in general, the last couple of years has been going through it. She's a tough cookie. She's someone I respect and admire. Someone who, I don't know, in some ways I look up to, but I would also just call a friend. I'm sorry you're struggling today, Liz. Thank you, Lily Adamson. All right. I'm going to open the floodgates a little bit. Ask nice questions, please. Good faith questions. Hello, Sunnyshine. So far, we've had bread, tomato, and cheese. And we have 4 more courses coming. We've got a big meal ahead of us. Big meal ahead of us. Thank you, Sienna. Hello, Sereno. Hello, Sarah Ritchie. Hello, Anna. What kind of exercise do I do? I bike, and I do like crunches and stuff. Do I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Sadly, neither. Oh, thank you, Joyce. That's very sweet of you. Hello, Gina. Thank you, Mercy Kiss. Hello, Rex. Hi, do you drink alcohol? Nope. I am totally sober. Yeah, 4 more courses. We have this, then we have, I don't know what order, but we have a fried eggplant. We have crispy fried potatoes. We have a tartare, and then a dessert. Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to being able to renew. I miss talking to you. Oh, Candy, we miss you too. Hi, as an Orthodox Christian, how can I support and show love? Let me expand that comment. And show love without going against my faith. Well, thank you for asking that, Megan. This is why I open up the floodgates for questions like this. Ultimately, you have to ask yourself, Megan, what is my faith? Because there's no mention of trans people in the Bible. None. And really, there's a lot of contradictory stuff in the Bible, right? There's a lot that is all about love, right? There's a lot that's like love your neighbor and, forgive people and, hold yourself to a high standard and empathy. That there's parts of, but then there's also parts of it that are like strike someone down for like no good reason. So at the end of the day, I think faith is largely open to interpretation. So what is your faith? Right? Do you believe in love? Because you can look at the Bible and find an explanation for anything you want to believe, right? You can find an explanation to be hateful. You cannot find an explanation to be loving. So ultimately, I think you get to decide, and you find the explanation therein. Now, I would hope that everyone, it's obviously not the case, that people would find reasons to be loving and accepting and inclusive. But again, it's up to them. A lot of people that will out there who will give you their interpretation and say, hey, I have interpreted the Bible to be against trans people, and here's why, and this is the only true way, this is the way it is, like blah, blah, blah. Clearly, it's in the book, like right here, but there's people who tell you the exact opposite. So how do you be accepting and loving without going against your faith? It's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you. I'm a Christian and support the queer community, and my trans son, God is all love. Yeah, I agree. God loves queer people. Love that. I love that. Someone said, do trans women experience misogyny? Oh, yeah. Advice on someone who wants to stop drinking? It is not easy. You gotta be ready to fight if you want to stop drinking. Am I getting FFS? Not only am I getting it, I got it in the past tense. Yeah. If it's something you want to do, you should do it. If your faith is telling you to hate people, you should probably leave that faith. I agree, Nicole. You're all God's children. I have when people use God as the Bible as a weapon. Yeah. Or you hate. Yeah. No. Me too. I'm a Christian and don't judge, but being trans is a sin because God made us male and female. Okay, let's take this one on. Hopefully I can. I won't. Someone said being trans is a sin because God made us male and female. So can I ask, what about me is going against that? Right? And specifically, where in the Bible does it say that like being trans isn't allowed? Because I'm a woman, certainly. And I don't know. I think when this is another good example of someone ascribing their own personal prejudices and finding the justification, right? Because you could look at the Bible, and again, I'm really not religious, but you could look at the Bible and say, God all gives us struggles. We're all made in God's creation, and therefore all people, straight, gay, trans, cis, we're all God's children, so like there's no room for hate there. You could look for that justification, and plenty of Christians do. But you could also say, well, God made us man and woman, right? I think it's a lot thinner of a justification there, because what do you mean they made us man and woman? Sure, they made Adam and Eve, but they also weren't like, it wasn't like I make Adam and Eve and also anyone who tries to transition or in like they don't mention it. There's no like reference to trans people in the Bible at all. So, you know, by saying, oh, God made us man and woman, know that you are projecting. You are using what is like considered to be a foundational text that, you know, has all the answers to justify your own prejudices. Do you have a message to teenagers going through the transition? Keep at it. It's not easy. The world is tough right now. It's going to get worse before it gets better, but it will eventually get better. Find the people that you know support you, be those in your own family or not, and stick with those people, and you'll make it. Do I have a gender preference when dating? I prefer to date women and femmes. Non-binary people, sure. Do I consider being trans a mental illness? Being trans is not a mental illness. Gender dysphoria is a symptom that is treatable by transition, but it's not an illness. Do I know who Alphaba is on TikTok? I'm aware of Alphaba, but I don't think I've ever seen any of the videos. It will get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. I want to pin that. Yeah, I like that. It will get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. I believe that. What do I think about the new UK law? Did I dye my hair? Absolutely. Can a non-binary person be trans? Not only can a non-binary person be trans, every non-binary person is trans. That is under the trans umbrella. Thinking of changing my hair color? I like red. Have I ever felt stared at a restaurant? Sure. Or my pronouns she, her. Am I ever planning on getting voice modification? Maybe one day, but not anytime soon. Supposed to love all, not to judge. Good. Okay, here's an interesting one from Kay. All right, Kay says, and we're getting into religion today. Once again, I'm not religious, but Kay says, Jesus tells us to love all and not to judge. God doesn't call you by your sin, so why can we? So I like the first half of this K. But the second half is God doesn't call you by your sin. Can I ask, K, what sin? What sin are you referring to? Because if the sin is being queer, being gay, being trans, whatever, how is that a sin? Because once again, you can look to the Bible to justify anything. You can justify being pro-queer, pro-LGBTQ. You can justify being anti. Right? It's up to your interpretation. So what sin are you referring to? Because there's no sin in my eyes. If anything, the greater sin is not being yourself. But once again, I don't believe in God or the concept of sin in a religious sense. I think there's right and wrong, but you know what I mean? I think religion is for people who need a reason why bad things happen, potentially. But I also have plenty of friends who are religious and wonderful. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of power to be found, a lot of strength to be found in faith. It's never resonated with me, but I have all sorts of respect for people who believe. I think that's great. Hello, Kristen. How are you? What do I think about Blair White? I think she's awful. Do you think trans women should play in sports? Yes. Do you still respect people that don't support LGBTQ? It's a tough question. Depends on where they fall on that disrespect. Is it because they just heard that trans people bad, therefore don't like? Or is their opinion well thought out and informed? Because if they're like for the latter, then absolutely not. I can't respect that. But if you're someone who's just believed what they heard and never met a queer person as far as you know, I can bring you around. hopefully you can change your mind. What flavor is the tea? It's a hibiscus tea. Grace, yeah, Grace, you have like a friend who watches as well, right? Grace and someone else? Am I in Spain? No, but I am at a Spanish restaurant. If the parents are part of the queer community, is it wrong for them to force their kid into it? No self-respecting parent will ever force anything like that on their child, queer or otherwise. The fact of the matter is, you're either queer or you're not. You're either gay or you're not. You're either trans or you're not. So if their kid is queer, then great. That means that they are also a part of the queer community. So there's no forcing that needs to happen. Ooh, thank you. Oh my gosh, that looks really good. Thank you. If a parent is queer and their kid isn't, then there's no forcing to be done because like that's not their community. Right, I think that maybe this is coming from a misconception about how queer people as parents operate. That like this is a choice for them, or it's a lifestyle that they want to force upon everyone. It's not. Okay, it's not. It's not a choice. You just are. And there's no reason that anyone would have. You can't force your kid to be straight. You can't force your kid to be gay either. There's no forcing to be had. No. If you're a gay man with a kid, and you bring your kid around other gay people, that's not forcing community. That's just like socializing your kid, right? I don't even know how you would force that on a child unless you're telling them they have to be gay, which doesn't happen. Yes, I remember. Okay, this is ham. This is a ham tartare. Where's the blazer from? I got it for like $6 at Goodwill. Do I have a hot dog? No, this is ham. All right. Stop harassing people. I don't know. I just love harassing people. Looks good, right? We got a little egg yolk on top. No, that's some crispy thing. Whatever it is, it's good. All right. Ooh, this is like soft bread. Look at this. Do you believe in bisexuality? Of course. I don't think it's raw ham. I'm going to ask my server again what this is, because I don't think raw ham is something anyone eats. I think it's just maybe tartare style ham. I'm almost certain it's going to be cooked. That is nice. Yeah, it's not raw pork. It's cooked. You have an apartment together. That's awesome. That's really nice. Yeah, it's not tartare in that it's raw. This is not raw. Excuse me, I have a question. So this ham is not raw, right? Is it smoked? Is it?
No, it's cured.
It's cured. Okay, got it. Okay. No, yeah, perfect.
Pretty sure it's cured, yeah.
Great, thank you.
I had a little bit of that. It's really good.
It's wonderful. Yeah, thank you. You're such an inspiration. People are so cool. How would you, someone said, recommend people deal with that? Surround yourself with good people, supportive people that you trust. Like I've had my dealings with people who I thought I trusted that I shouldn't have. This is the second course of 5. It's a tough thing, trust. But if you're with people you trust, who really have your back, that's all you really need. Because no matter how loud the noise is on the outside, you can have people on your inner circle, that support you, and that's going to be louder in general. Is the yolk raw? Yes, I think. Is it? Is it? It's cured? No, it's a raw yolk. It's just very orange. Let's get a little bit of that in there. I do love it. I do love a raw egg yolk. Doesn't even support small businesses. Yeah, you know, this small business that I'm at, this restaurant, I'm eating at this restaurant just to make a point that I don't like eating at small businesses, even though this is a small business. I don't like being here at all. It's awful. Wonderful food and wonderful staff and wonderful decor, and they've been so accommodating, but God, I hate it. Even better with the egg yolk. Yeah, give me that, Sam. That's really nice. You haven't even gotten to the caper part. This is good. Out of 10, before someone asks it, unless someone already has asked, what do I think it is out of 10? A solid 8. Like, I think my biggest gripe with it, it's a little too salty. Like, there's, I think, either capers or pickles inside of the tartare, and then on top. which I think is going to double up on the salty a little bit too much. Oh, and the ham is cured, so it's salt. It's just like salt all around. Not that it's too salty to eat. It's just a little bit on the salty side. But that being said, the flavor is wonderful. The texture is all there. The bread is great. Still an 8. What about gender reveals? I don't like gender reveals. I think gender reveals are unnecessary. Because you don't know your kid's gender. You can't know your kid's gender until they're old enough to tell you themselves. You can know what your kid's body parts are going to be. And body parts are an indicator of what gender might be or is more likely to be. But that still doesn't mean you know your kid's gender. For example, my parents didn't, as far as I know, they didn't do a gender reveal party for me. But if they had, they would have gotten it wrong, right? Now, there are way bigger fish to fry than gender reveal parties, but all gender reveal parties is a best guess on what your kid's gender is. Why not do a reveal of something else? You could do like any kind of reveal, or just have a party for the baby, right? Like a celebration of the upcoming baby, right? It doesn't need to be couched in this weird like obsession with gender. I think it shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what gender is. And even though 90% of the time they're going to get it right, they're going to get it wrong 10% of the time. Every trans kid who had a gender reveal party before they were born, that gender reveal party was wrong. Like, not in terms of like morally wrong. It's just like literally the gender they said, it's a boy. Like, no, it's not. So, and in some ways you're just reinforcing the fact that we're making these decisions for a kid, or, you know, putting this kid in a role that they might not fit into, right? So like say, it's like having a party for your baby before they're born that they're gonna have brown hair. Like brown hair is, I think, the most common hair color. It's most likely they're gonna have brown hair, especially if you have brown hair, but they might come out blonde. It might come out as a redhead. So why not just wait? You know? Why not just wait? Do I want kids? Would I go on Jubilee or any other debating format? I don't know what Jubilee is, but my guess is probably not. I probably wouldn't go on any platform that gives hateful voices a platform, right? If you're a platform that's like allowing hateful voices to be hateful without consequence, I'm not interested. So when a child is born, what should they put the gender as on the birth certificate? I mean, it doesn't need to put anything. You can put the body parts and note that if you really want, but it's not that important. The way if I did want a kid, which I don't, what I would do is give them a gender neutral name. Taylor is always the one that comes to mind. Girl Taylors and boy Taylors. And use they them pronouns for the baby until they were old enough to start making choices. Like, what kind of toys do you want? Do you want boy toys or girl toys or neither? Do you want boy clothes or girl clothes or neither or both? Right? Like giving them the choice. It's not like you're forcing neutrality on them. You're giving them neutrality until they are able to make choices otherwise, right? So that when the time comes, they won't feel weird if they're trans, right? Because when you are trans, like me, I was, assumed to be a boy. I was given boy clothes. I was given boy toys. I was given the boy role to play, but I didn't fit in it. If I had been raised in a way where I was gender neutral, at least until I made choices otherwise, right? Like maybe I did want to play with dolls or did want to use a more feminine name or did want to wear a dress. Like that's all available to me. But it's a more natural exploration process instead of just like hoping for the best with an assigned gender. How would you dress them though, not knowing their future? Wow. Neutrally, gender neutrally. You don't know their future. When they're like a newborn, it doesn't matter because they don't care what they're wearing. But, when they turn like 2 and 3 and starting able to talk and really, be a person that can like see things and make decisions about things, then they can start making choices, simple choices that, you know, will help them work towards whatever their gender may be. You know? I mean, my kids know their gender by allowing them to play with whatever toys they want. That's great, Maria. But let me return to this. Your kids, and every human being is most likely going to be cisgender. 90% or more of human beings are not trans. So chances are your kids are cisgender. But there are trans kids out there. And if you tell a kid from day one you are a boy, you've told them who they are, right? And hopefully that's right, but maybe it's not right. Maybe, like me, in my case, I was told I was a boy and took 27 years to figure out that that actually was incorrect. And that's why I was so miserable for the first 27 years of my life. That's how that works. So, again, most likely your kids are cisgender, and the gender that is assigned to them is the right one. But that's only most likely, it's not always. I'm glad to hear that you're not. All right. This is basically just French fries. This is French fries with some aioli and tomato sauce. It's called patatas bravas. Yeah. What bathroom? I go in the women's room. All right, here we go. This is like a staple of any tapas restaurant is patatas bravas. So this is course 3 of 5. Do you genuinely believe you were miserable solely because of your gender? Well, I think I was the biggest reason I was miserable because I was in the closet. I think it's hard to overstate how miserable you can be in the closet. The closet is a not fun place to be. For whatever you're in the closet for, it's not good. It's soul crushing day after day after day to pretend to be someone you're not because the world expects you to be something, right? It's exhausting. It's like having to act every moment of your life to others and sometimes to yourself. It is soul crushing. So yes, absolutely. Of course, there are other things that were difficult in my life, but that was like the big one. Yeah, that was like the kind of the big unturned stone. Okay, here's a fork. Let's try this. Ooh, that's spicy. I was not expecting that. Let's try that again. It's okay. The potatoes are nice and crispy. There's nothing wrong with the potatoes. I think the sauce is a little sweet. It's not my favorite, but it's also not bad. It's just a little sweeter than I was expecting. It's kind of like a savory sweet sauce. I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from. Yeah, I think it's the yellow sauce. It's like an aioli or something. It's just a little on the sweet side. It's not a bad thing. It's just a little unexpected. It's and honestly a little too spicy for comfort. But it's good. So here's a good question. I get this one every once in a while. What about women who are fixing their hijab and cannot have a man see them? Well, I've got good news for you, Alex. I'm not a man. So if I'm in a women's bathroom, for example, I'm there because I'm a woman. I'm not a man masquerading as a woman. So any woman or anyone who wears a hijab shouldn't feel uncomfortable around me because I'm not a man. And if they do, then that's a them problem. All right. Can you explain how non-binary fits under the trans umbrella? Yeah. So the most basic definition of being trans is being mislabeled at birth, right? So if you're an apple and they label you as an orange when you're born, that's being mislabeled, right? But if you're a boy and you're mislabeled as a girl or a girl mislabeled as a boy, you're mislabeled. I was mislabeled as a boy, but I was actually a girl. A trans man would be mislabeled as a girl, but is actually a boy. You understand? So that's the core trans experience. Where does non-binary fit into that? Non-binary people are mislabeled in the exact same way, right? So if I were non-binary, which I'm not, let's say I was still mislabeled as a boy. Because the whole point of being non-binary, the definition is that you're not a man and not a woman. Not a boy, not a girl. So there's no situation in which a non-binary person would be labeled correctly at birth, right? So if you're mislabeled at birth, you're trans. And non-binary people are mislabeled at birth. Therefore, they are trans. They fit under the trans umbrella. Have I thought about moving out of the US? Of course the thought has occurred to me and every other queer person. I don't think so. For now. If things get really bad, of course, but I'm more someone to stick around and fight from the inside. Someone said, going to the bathroom should not be an issue. We are all going in there to do our private business. Yes, it's true. That is true. All right. I think we're good. We're going to take off the sub-only chat, or we're going to put on sub-only. What does it mean definitionally? What do you mean by that? Being mislabeled at birth means, so every child at birth is assigned a gender, okay? It's kind of like you're being given a pair of shoes. And usually the pair of shoes are going to fit, right? We have a pretty good guessing system to make sure that most shoes fit for every kid, right? But not every pair of shoes fits. I was given a pair of shoes that just didn't fit me. And it took me a while to realize. But eventually I changed shoes and was much happier. So what does it mean to be mislabeled? It means that a certain role was assigned to you that just doesn't apply, that you just don't fit into. A certain box that you don't fit into. Does that answer your question? I hope so. These can't be that bad because I keep eating them. Thank you, Kirsten, for subscribing. Oh, you're amazing. Don't let people bother you. They don't personally know you. Thank you. I do my best. You know, the weird thing is sometimes after people have met me, they're nasty too. I get that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. There's this lady who I used to work with like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. And we worked in the same shared office space. I didn't know her that well, but the food was purchased by like the company that we rented office space from. So like there's a bunch of companies in the office, and like it's someone's job to like stock the fridge and like put, you know, our boiled eggs and bagels out in the morning, and all the businesses come in and like have their offices. And I would always take like 4 hard-boiled eggs, and I would eat a lot because they paid me like nothing, and I could eat one of my meals anytime I was there. And you know, I was like friendly enough with this person, and then time went on. I moved on from that job, started doing content, and that person who never expressed having an issue with me in real life went on like the places that like to talk nasty about me and started talking about how like, oh, I ate everyone's food. And it's like, first off, there's plenty of food, right? My point is that even people who have met me like to try and get their 5 minutes of fame in by taking jabs. Some people are so closed-minded. I agree. Have I heard of a genderbread? The genderbread person? No. I'm assuming that's just like pun on things. Oh, that's sweet. Someone just gifted a bunch of subscriptions. Who was that? Ashley? Someone named Ashley, maybe? Was it Kayla? That was Kayla. They do feel it. They do. Who was that? Can someone tell me for sure who gifted all those, just so I can be sure? Because I want to make sure. It doesn't tell me. The 800 goal is going to a sushi restaurant, but it was Kayla. Thank you, Kayla, for gifting all those subs. That's so sweet. I appreciate you, friend. I think it was Kayla. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Kayla, for putting us up another, 5 subs, it looks like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Kayla. That's nice of you. Thanks. I truly can't understand why people are so hateful. Don't we have enough going on in the world? Yeah. That we do. The robot one. Yeah, there's a robot that brings your sushi. And then also, oh, thank you. Is this the same Kayla that subscribed themselves? Maybe. We're now 25. Thank you for subbing, Kayla. And thank you for gifting subs. Now we're at 775. That's 25 away from a sushi train stream, which is very exciting. That's cool. The sushi train stream, so basically it's going to be a railroad. There's like a little mini railroad and these trains go on it, and they bring the sushi to your table because like the train goes through like every booth, so you can just take it off the little train. Yeah, and there's a robot as well for some of the tables where it'll just like scoot over to your table. Isn't that cool? It's not the same Kayla. Okay, different Kayla. Gotcha. Well, thank you, Kayla, who sent the subs, and to Kayla who subscribed. Appreciate you. It is the same Kayla. Okay, I'm getting mixed messages. Either way, love to Kayla. All right, I think I'm done with these patatas bravas. Not really my thing, but nothing wrong. Especially if you're into kind of like a sweeter dipping sauce. Sweet and spicy is how I would call that. Had a patient. What did I miss? I'm not sure. When did you hop out? Thank you, Becca, for subscribing. All right, I'm a little bit of a sub roll. Thank you. Excuse me. I felt when I clicked the gifted subs, I thought it was a red heart. Oh, you're good. Did you see my explanation? What was your explanation? Maybe it got filtered. Probably got filtered. Maybe try and post it again or say it in a different way. Right as I finished the bread and cheese. Yeah, so we had a tartare come through. That was very good. A little bit on the salty side, but still good. And then we have the patatas bravas, which are basically just French fries. They're good though. They're good French fries. They're just a little. I didn't know they would be sweet and spicy. Sweet and spicy, I'm not huge on. What's another good example of that? Of like sweet and spicy. I don't really like barbecue sauce that much. Do I have a crema? Oh no, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. I don't need to like everything. This place has been really great so far, and we still have 2 more courses. We still have. Oh, you're trying to explain genderbread person. Okay. I mean, I think I can probably imagine just like a non-binary ginger person. Gingerbread. Don't love sweet and spicy, but yeah, sweet and salty, absolutely. I'll eat most things that are sweet and salty, but sweet and spicy, not so much. I don't know why. I feel like there's a wing flavor, like a Korean barbecue, that kind of thing can be sweet and spicy. No, it's not just non-binary, shows the spectrum as a whole. Oh, cool. That's great. Yeah, no, I'll have to look up the genderbread person. Shows the spectrum as a whole. Yeah, and gender absolutely is a spectrum. There's a lot of different ways to be a woman. There's a lot of different ways to be a man. Honey chipotle. That's a good one, Casey. Yeah, when we were at Chili's last week. Was that last week? God, time is like so funky right now. What was the Chili's? We got like a spicy honey, right? And that was like, I think I'm ready for the next course. Thank you so much. You can take those. Yeah, it's all good. Hot honey on pizza? Sure. Hot honey on pizza I like. I don't know why. That for some reason, I'm down to have hot honey on pizza. But I don't know why. Like, just like a spicy sweet wing. Honey chipotle. But then again, I had it at Chili's the other day, and it was good. Just not like my favorite. Hello, banana bread. Hot honey is hot right now. It is very popular right now. It is all the rage. What dessert should we get? The cheesecake or the custard or the mousse? I don't even know. Ugh. Also, this jet lag is super hitting me right now. God, I slept I took 2 planes yesterday. I took a plane from San Francisco to Dallas Fort Worth and then Dallas to Asheville. And I didn't think I would sleep much, but I slept on both of them. And even still, I'm like, the West Coast to East Coast is pretty tough because you lose for 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. That's a lot. Yeah, you are. But we still have 2 courses, banana bread. It's good. How is the Fort Worth, Texas airport? The terminals I went to, I arrived at like B18 and B20 something was my connection. And I was there for like 45 minutes because it was a pretty tight connection. So I didn't get to see much of it. But the Dallas Fort Worth airport seemed to be very kind of like narrow hallways. So I wasn't a huge fan, but it's hard for me to speak on it because I think I've only been there once or twice. What airport I really liked was the Salt Lake City airport. Thank you, Jess, for subscribing. Whoa, 5 more subs? Okay. Another gift of 5 subs from Kayla. Thank you. That is so sweet of you. First class? No. I wish I could fly first class. I'm not made of money. Thank you again, Kayla. Kayla the GOAT today. Gifting all the subs. Cheers, thank you. We're now only 19 away from a sushi train. Incredible. Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate you. What do they bring me next? Next up is what else did we order? I think it's the fried eggplant next with local honey from, and rosemary. So fried eggplant, local honey, and rosemary. And y'all know I'm not, thank you, Kayla, that's sweet of you. Not big on rosemary, so it's a little bit of a push for me. Went to Maine and back over the last 48 hours. Wow. What was that for? When will we get the sushi train? Wait, when will we get the sushi tea in? Maybe that's a typo, or maybe I'm misunderstanding. You make me want to go out to dinner with my wife? You totally should. Thank you, Banana Bread. You definitely should go out to dinner with your wife. Absolutely. My boyfriend was in an accident in January and got cleared to fly home. I was bringing him home to Oregon. Aww. I'm glad he got to bring him home. So he was like, he got in an accident in Maine and was like in the hospital. I think they mean when will the sushi... Oh, okay. If we hit 800 today, when will the sushi train stream be? Good question. So I can tell you that it won't be tomorrow. If we get this up today, it won't be tomorrow because I'm in Asheville. And maybe there's a sushi train place here. If there is one, great. But I'm not aware of it. Someone can look it up. If that's the case, great. We can go there. But there's one in San Francisco that I'm thinking of specifically that I want to go to. And it will just be the next stream back in San Francisco. So if we hit it today, the soonest we would be able to do it in San Francisco is on Monday. I am in Asheville. Yes. I am in Asheville. So if we want to hit it tomorrow, or I mean, we can hit it whenever. What are my plans in Asheville? Just visiting with family. Just hanging out. I think we're going out for a dinner as a family later tonight, which is basically like back-to-back dinners. I'm going to be so full. I'm going to be so tired. I'm so sleepy. It feels like my body wants to sleep now, but doesn't want to sleep at, midnight Asheville time because my whole circadian rhythm is thrown off because of jet lag. What am I drinking? This is a hibiscus hot tea. Hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea. It's one of these days that I want to start drinking caffeine again because caffeine is something that will make my energy go up briefly, even though it's so bad for me. Did I bring Nugget with me? No, I didn't bring Nugget. I wish I could, but he's too old to go across the country. I don't think I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing him on a plane at this point. He's an old man. He likes routine, and I'm who am I to put him through that? So I leave him with a trusted friend that he knows and likes. Sushi that far away from the ocean is hit or miss. Yeah, maybe. I haven't had sushi outside of San Francisco for a while. And I remember when I got to San Francisco and started eating sushi, it was just better in general than sushi I've had in other places because of its proximity to the sea, I think, or to the ocean, and just it being a good food city. So I'm just spoiled in general. From the Charlotte area, cool. From Seattle, so super fresh, nice. It's my opinion on corn dogs, Banana Bread. I'm so glad you asked because I have corn dog opinions. I really like corn dogs. I think they're delicious. I think they're best dipped in either ketchup or mustard, probably just mustard, not honey mustard. I think corn dogs don't need the sweetness of ketchup. Just mustard is fine for me. Yeah, I'll wait for the background sushi. I also often left your dog with a friend. Yeah, totally. Are corn dog sandwiches? We're not getting into this. I don't think they are. I think they're corn dogs. Ooh. Thank you. Ooh, that looks good. And so I think I'm ready to order a dessert.
Okay.
Now you said that the cheesecake or the creamy custard and the mousse, I mean, is that like, can it go toe to toe? Because I would probably get the Basque over the Catalana.
Yeah, I mean, those are pretty, they are toe to toe. I just don't like the amount of sherry ice cream that comes with it.
Oh, it's a sherry ice cream?
Yeah, it tastes a little strong for me, but it is a good dessert.
Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do the tart, the Basque cheesecake. Yes, thank you. Good corn dog can't be beat. I agree. But it must be, Kristen. It must be. Korean. I don't think I've ever had a Korean corn dog. I would love to have a Korean corn dog. I love a Korean corn dog. Okay, so this is fried eggplant with local honey and rosemary. I can smell the rosemary. I'm not a huge rosemary fan, but I want to be. So I'm going to try to sit with my feelings, think like, okay. I can do this. I also probably could use, I guess I can use this teaspoon. I'm not gonna have the little bits of rosemary. I don't even think I'm supposed to eat those. If I am, I'm not gonna do it. I'm trying to be open to something that I've traditionally not liked very much. You know what? I'll just use my fingers. This kind of feels like more like a tomato than anything. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. That's excellent. It barely even tastes like rosemary. That's really good. That's really well cooked. It's hot. I'm going to give it a second, but that's really good. The honey brings it all together. Fractured 5 vertebra? Ugh. Awful. I do Korean corn dogs at 900. I'm sure we can find somewhere to get Korean corn dogs in San Francisco. Do we want to do that? Korean corn dogs for 900? I'm down. I don't know if we could find a table service restaurant that does that, but I'm more than open to doing a quick service Korean corn dog stream. We can do that. Korean corn dogs for 900. Okay, remind me once we hit 800 that it's Korean corn dogs for 900. Let me give you some of the texture here. That's really good. I'm usually kind of middling on eggplant. I don't have strong opinions about it one way or another, but this is really good eggplant. And the honey is absolutely at the forefront. Almost like this is a honey dish and eggplant is the vehicle. That's really nice. That's really nice. Making some at home, I'm sure I could make them at home, but I'd rather eat them out. Because I'm in one of the greatest food cities in the world that has a lot of great, especially Asian food. I'd want to eat them from places who already know what they're doing. He severed the nerve from his leg, so he's been relearning to walk. Jesus. Sounds miserable, but I'm glad he's alive. I'm glad you're able to take him home. That is excellent. Is that my favorite thing? I think it might be my favorite thing I've had here. I think it might be my favorite thing. If we do 900, try it. I can do a hot Cheeto. I'm sure we could find a hot Cheeto corn dog. I think that's pretty standard at any Korean corn dog place is to have a hot Cheeto option. I'll tell you what, we can get if we get to 900, we'll go to a Korean corn dog place and try, within reason, every corn dog on the menu. Am I going to cross rosemary off of Lily's no list? Don't do it yet, because I don't think the rosemary is that strong here. I think it's good. It's light, and I don't mind it being in the background. In fact, I think it enhances it. You know what? I think we could probably take rosemary off the list. I think it's no longer something that I hate. I think it's something that I'm not going to be excited to order, but I will if it's something that I really want or that's recommended. I think we can take rosemary off the list. Something with rosemary is my favorite today. This takes the cake. I mean, this is better than... I mean, the bread and tomato was excellent, but this is great. This is also a 10 out of 10. This is something that I would eat again. The eggplant is cooked perfectly. The honey is really the star. This is a honey dish more than anything. It's excellent. I love the flavor of rosemary, but I'm not a fan of chewing in it. I get that. It's kind of like a pine needle, almost. I'm just scraping it off the top here. This is really good. This is really good. Making my tummy growl. I wish I could share this with you because it's so fresh. I would order this at like a sports stadium. I'm gonna have some barbecue. Maybe. I'm a fan of specifically Carolina barbecue, so I'm in the right place for it. We'll see if we end up doing it. I'm only here for a few more days. Who else should I say? Oh, well, thank you for asking, Kayla. I don't really know how sending subs works. Who's someone who can't afford it? Hi, Nick. How are you? Just answered. Okay, Cody. Yeah. I don't know. But I think you have to go to the like sub menu. I'm not sure. I don't have no names off the top of my head come up. But I'm in Asheville, not Nashville. Asheville with an A. I'm visiting my parents. Yeah. So actually, right after this, we're going to meet some friends and some of my parents' friends and have dinner with them. So, oh, okay. Thank you, Nick. I'll keep an eye out for it. What's chopped barbecue? What the heck is chopped? I don't even know what chopped barbecue is. Yeah, I know, right? Anywhere fancy for dinner? Well, I'm not going to say where. In fact, we might even be eating at someone's house. And even if I knew, I wouldn't want to say it, just because there are weird people out there who do weird stuff, and they don't need to know where I am all the time. Happy for you to know where I am now, but got to go somewhere with hush puppies. I've had hush puppies before. I really like hush puppies. Hush puppies are like, they're made from cornmeal, right? They're kind of like corn dogs without the dog. Yeah? I think that's what it is. Corn dogs without the dog. Also, we should probably finish up pretty soon because I think we're going to meet our friends quite soon. Thank you, Nick. Also, I'm getting a little bit hot. I'm going to move my hair back. Didn't the Biltmore get like destroyed or something though? Wasn't that something that happened? Where'd my hairband go? Maybe I'm mistaken. I could have sworn in the hurricane. You thought it was Nashville this entire time? That's funny. No, it's not Nashville. I can see how you might misunderstand it because it is literally a one-letter difference. But my parents live in Asheville, not Nashville. Okay, if someone sees the thing it's not on my wrist. Or did I think maybe I dropped it on the ground? Just looking for like my hairband. So I'm getting a little warm, a little toasty. Maybe I should just take my jacket off. I like my jacket. Is it in my pocket? I don't know. You like the blueprints? Oh, I'm glad you like it. It's a great game. I haven't picked it up in a few days, but I really like it. It's like an escape room, but a game. It's fun. I got a little overwhelmed last time I played it. I probably wasn't in the right headspace for it, but there was this puzzle that I just could not figure. Oh, here. Thank you. And I would love a check as well, please. Thank you so much. Here we go, y'all. Yeah, I feel that, Maya. Has some flooding in the lower areas, but made it out. Okay, good. That's good. All right, so this is a Basque cheesecake. Specifically, it's burnt on the top. That's intentional, but soft in the middle. You did miss the eggplant. I'm sorry, Tay. All right, here we go. That's good. That's good. I'm a fan. Thank you so much. Here, let me give you my card now. I know you're about to head out anyways. Thank you for taking care of me and my stream. I appreciate it. I appreciate the... Thank you. Yeah, and our impromptu Spanish experience was just as good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Can I ask what was on the regular one?
I know it comes with the pan con tomate.
Okay.
It comes with the paleta, the shoulder cut. It comes with, where is it? The pepillo rellenos.
Okay.
The lamb skewers.
Oh, wow.
The setas and the endive, or it's the ramps, sorry, today.
Okay. So it would have been completely different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Completely
Okay.
different, yeah.
Okay. Check out this way. Thank you. This is quite good. My favorite part of the cheesecake is the crumble at the bottom. Gotcha. Do they have a crumble? I think it might just be... There's no crumble on the bottom of this, but they have a crumble off to the side. It's pretty good. It's a little... I think that it's supposed to be very soft and maybe even undercooked in the middle. I think it's intentional. It's not my favorite, but it's still quite good. There's a good flavor here. It's a very like traditional. There's no like, when we go to the Cheesecake Factory, it's like, oh, Reese's Pieces and like caramel and fudge and all this stuff. This is just cheesecake. Yeah, that's a strawberries on the side. You can always come back. Wait, yes, I can. Absolutely, Maya. Wait, and how was the dish before this? My favorite by far of this restaurant was the fried eggplant. Thank you, Liz, for confirming. The strawberries are good. I don't know if I can finish it because I'm literally about to go to another meal. And I'm a fan. Especially if you're a fan of Bass cheesecake. This is exactly what you're looking for. I think, in retrospect, I would probably try the chocolate next time. Just because oh my God, I've got the cheesecake all in my mouth. I'm just more of a chocolate girl. If they can do the classics well, I'm there every time. This is definitely a Bass cheese cake. Did I say a dirty word there? I don't know. This is a Bass cheesecake done well. It's done very well. I just happen to be more of a chocolate girly. Thank you, banana bread. We don't bake cheesecakes in the UK, just let them sit in the fridge. That's what I keep hearing. But a traditional cheesecake, at least in America, especially like a New York cheesecake, it's cream cheese. I think you can cut it with sour cream, eggs, sugar, like vanilla, and maybe a few other things I'm forgetting, but that's the core of it. And you cook it in a springform pan for a while. You know. The lipstick is so good. That's incredible. That's incredible. I can't see it as well as you can. My screen looks different than yours. Thank you again. Appreciate it, Kate. All right, we ready to guess this? Let me do the tip first. Okay, it doesn't have the itemized on here. That's fine. I can remember. We got the tea. We got the bread with the cheese. We got the fried eggplant. We got the tartare. We got the... What else did we get? I forget. Someone else can say. Spicy fries, right? And the cheesecake. All right. Go ahead and guess. I tipped about, oh geez, 40% maybe? 40? Let me guess 40%. You have to guess dollars and cents and include the tip. Y'all are definitely in the right ballpark. I know who's close so far. Closest. Why do you have to tip in America? Because restaurants lower their prices so that the sticker shock is less, but it is expected that you still tip, even though it's technically not mandatory. It is you have to, out of the goodness of your heart, tip like at least 15 to 20%, and a lot of people don't because a lot of people are awful. But I always tip way more, just because we love our servers. Okay, I just dropped a bunch of stuff out of my bag. It looks like the closest person... Hold on. That person's like $5 off. That person's like $3 off. I believe this is the closest person. Tay, correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone, tell me I'm wrong. But Tay, guess $112.47. The total pre-tip was $74.37. I tipped 35, bringing it to 109. Did I do that math right? 109.37, which means that Tay is a little under $3 off. Congratulations. Servers are paid less so you are tipping on their service level. Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, Tay. You win nothing, and also everything. Congratulations. Cool. So, I will be back tomorrow for another stream. You win a pinned comment. You win everything. Wonderful. We love it. So I'm about to go to another meal, which is crazy. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So you're already seeing me pack up. But thank you. I will be back tomorrow, unless for some reason I decide to take a day and hang with my family and not stream. I think it's probably good chances I will, though, because I want to. But if I don't, I'll see you Monday. But if I do, which I probably will, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Thank you to everyone who gifted today. Thank you to my moderators especially. Thank you to Kayla, who gifted a bunch of subscriptions, and everyone else who subscribed today. I love you, and stay lovely.